And so, first of all, a very big thank you to all of those of you who came back last week with comments and encouragement. I said in the last week's analysis video that I was probably discontinue that regular weekly video, but so many of you came back and said you appreciate what I do and that the weekly analysis helps you with your trading. So let's keep going. All right, but keep those comments coming, all right? And it does help the algorithm. It helps the growth of the YouTube channel. So I appreciate what you do. And let's get started with this regular weekly analysis this week starting on the 12th of May 2025. But before I jump into the charts, I want to caution you that with the opening of the market on Monday, we could possibly see an uptick with the currencies and commodities. We might see a spike up with the US dollar or maybe even a spike down. And that's because over the weekend, the US and China are holding negotiating talks about the tariffs that are in Switzerland. I haven't heard any news yet about what the results are going to be. It might be good news, it might be bad news. So that's just a cautionary note to keep in mind as you get started, start the week off trading on the 12th of May. And as we go to our regular go-to website, forexfactory.com. It's the regular stuff that you're used to seeing as a trader. But one thing that I do want to bring to your attention, and that is on Thursday, we have the Federal Chair Jerome Powell will be speaking. And as you know, if you've listened to him before, he can rattle the markets. He shakes up the markets. Is this week going to be the time that he will capitulate to Trumpty Dumpty and lower the interest rates? I really doubt that seriously. He's very steadfast in his policy, but let's see what he has to say on this upcoming Thursday. Just be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times. And as we start to look at last week's trade setups that I shared with you to look at the profit and loss that we had, first we just look at Bitcoin. Wow, this is just an exciting chart to look at. The Bitcoin hodlers would all be happy. We finally did break above 100,000, and in fact last week got up to 104,000, and it's hit that again yesterday, Saturday, and now it's come down just a little bit, but another green candle there materializing late Sunday. So it looks like we're going to see higher prices on Bitcoin. As you know, I don't trade Bitcoin. I just buy on a regular basis, DCA, dollar cost averaging, holding an investment in digital assets for the future. But if you trade Bitcoin, you'd be happy if you went bullish early in the week, because it's made a huge move up just from the beginning of the week at 95,000 all the way up to 104,000. So let's look at the trade setups that I shared with you last week. And the first one is XAU USD gold. And this is the one that just absolutely did not work out. We were seeing a bearish run for a couple of weeks here, and I expected that when the Asian Pacific market opened that we would continue to see at least some continuing downward movement. So I had a sell limit at 32.45, expecting it to pull right back up to that and then continue down. But that just did not happen. When the Asian Pacific market opened, gold jumped on the elevator and went straight up all day Monday and then all the next day Tuesday for a move of nearly $200 in just 48 hours. Just unbelievable. Now we started to pull back from that, and I do expect that we will see a little bit more bearish action, but I'll share that with you in my pending orders shortly. The USD JPY, what I had for you last week was a buy limit, and that one did open at the price, but only went up a few pips and then went the wrong direction. But if you had re-entered that trade, you would have done very well if you got in early on Thursday when we had some good news on the U.S. economy with their trade deal with the U.K., and that strengthened the U.S. dollar, at least for one day, before it started to fall back down on Friday. So it could have been a profitable trade for you on the USD JPY. Then the Euro US, this one worked out very well, went up on Monday, came back down, then Tuesday continued a little bit higher, so some profit on the Euro US. And then the Odd US, a buy limit, and that one executed. It came right down to the pending order and then went up, came back down to the pending order again on Tuesday, but then really moved very high on Tuesday before turning around going the wrong direction. And just what you see on the chart here with this big upward movement and then big downward movement, this gives me the opportunity to let you know that I'm mostly focusing on day trading. I prefer swing trading, where you can hold a trade for several days or even longer and expect it to continue in a trend for a certain direction. But the market changes, we have to adapt to the changes, and we're not able to really get any continuous direction from trade. I mean, this is all just in 1 week, a big move up and then a big move down. And most of the currencies are doing that, even gold is doing that. So my preference in these times anyway is for the moment day trading, and I will continue day trading. Even though these trades are good, these pending orders that I share with you, they will usually last for 1 or 2 days, but don't expect that you can hold them throughout the week. If you had taken this trade and then didn't do anything for the rest of the week, you would have got stopped out or had a big loss. So here's the New Zealand US, same thing, big move up and then big move down, but it was good. You could see that momentum. I had a buy limit, it didn't quite get down to that, but if you saw the momentum, that could have been a good trade for 2 days. Then the pound US, this was an excellent trade. It did come down and hit exactly on the pending order. Although this was a market execution order, I told you to buy when the Asian Pacific market opened on Monday. And then that went up Monday, came back down. And then finally, with some good news on the UK economy on Wednesday, this one did very well. So very profitable trade on the pound US. Then the USD CAD, I had a sell limit on that one. That one came up, hit the order. It did go down into good profit before turning around and going the opposite direction, as everything has done last week. So let's jump over and have a look at the pending orders that I have in place for you. But of course, I always look at the US dollar index first. And with that good news that we had on the UK-US trade deal, that gave some momentary strengthening of the US dollar, very limited, because on Friday it did start to come back down. And I'm quite sure we will continue to see decline in the strength of the US dollar. The JPY basket has continued to decline. It tried to make a move up midweek, but then fell down towards the end of the week. So we'll just have to wait and see if the Central Bank of Japan is going to come in and support the Japanese yen. Now, getting to the pending orders, let's start off with gold. Everybody loves to trade gold. And what my charts are telling me is that the day one chart is bullish, the H4 chart is bearish. So which way do we go? Do we buy or do we sell? Well, I'm going to continue selling. All right, we've seen selling action, bearish control for 3 days. We got a little bit of a pullback on Friday, but then it closed with a bearish candle. And as is usual, typically, not guaranteed, but typically the Asian Pacific market will continue the same direction. So when the Asian market opens on Monday morning, just take a sell order on gold, and we should be able to get down to at least our first support level, which is 32.74. So continuing momentary bearish action on gold down to our first support level. Sell when the market opens on Monday morning. And then looking at the USD JPY, I have a buy limit on that one with the entry price of 144.050. That's just a little bit above that now. Let that pull back to our support level. Then the Euro US, I have a sell limit on that one with the entry price at 1.1260. It's just a little bit below that now. Let it pull back to our resistance zone. The AUD US, I have a sell limit on that one with the entry price at 0.6417. It's just a little bit below that now. Then the New Zealand US, a sell limit with the entry price at 0.5921. It's just a little bit below that resistance right now. Then the pound US, okay, this is neutral. Let me zoom out here just a little bit and you can see for the last couple of weeks we've just got a candlestick sandwich. Yeah, it breaks out a little bit above that, comes back in, goes out, comes back in, goes out, comes back in. So when I have something that's showing me no clear direction, for me that means no trade. Let's just give it a break for this week on the pound US. And then the USD CAD, I do have a buy limit on that one. It's a little bit far away from that support level, but let's see if that will come back and open a buy order with the entry price at 1.3905. Okay, that wraps it up for this weekly analysis starting on the 12th of May 2025. For those of you that follow me, I want to let you know that I also have started daily YouTube shorts where I am throwing out some tips and suggestions, strategies, and bits and pieces that will help you with your forex trading. So if you're already a subscriber, be sure and just check out the shorts that I'll be doing. Have already started last week. on a daily basis. And for those of you that haven't subscribed yet, be sure and subscribe. Click that little bell so you'll be notified every time I make one of these videos. And for those of you that do subscribe, keep those comments coming. Don't forget, click that like button. Don't be shy. Don't be bashful. Let me hear from you. And I'll see you again next week.